and on episode 7, back to back today.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? So, Mervyn, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Good to be here.
Okay. So, I want to talk about comic books, man, because you were the one that got me into comic books, graphic novels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It started with the New 52.
Yeah. So for me, it started a little earlier. If fans of maybe Brian Lee O'Malley know the comic book series Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that was my first series that I picked up.
Oh, that's your first series you picked up?
The first comic book I ever read. And eventually my friend Alex, who I went to buy the comic with and shared the comics with him,
Yeah.
he ended up working at Cosmics.
Cosmics. Shout out to Cosmics comic books.
Yeah, shout out to Cosmics. I don't know their address. Look it up.
It's on the carry. It's on the carry.
It's on the carry.
That's all I know.
Google it.
Google is near Vanier College.
Cosmics Montreal Quarter 2 and you'll find it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome comic books are. Whenever I need something, I go there and I could find it right away.
Yeah. Ask for Alex. He'll hook you up. Tell
Yeah.
him Mervyn sent you.
Yeah, Mervyn sent you. There you go, guys. So if you need comic books, go to Cosmics. Look for a guy named Alex working there and say Mervyn referred me.
Yeah. So that's all how it started. Like he got a job there, and basically I just kept buying and buying and buying.
But yeah, I remember one day, I think the first time I actually went to the comic book store with you to start getting into the New 52 series, like Batman. That's the issue I picked up. I think volume 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And 4. I think I bought 4 volumes that day. one shot. I got excited. But oh, you were there. So I thought I spent a lot. Then I seen your stack of comic books, and that was going on for like months, right? Like you're just like, how many comic books was it? Like I think like 20,
I don't
30.
even want to talk about it. I don't want to say how much money I spent on comic books, but I'll just say it's a lot. And do I regret it?
No,
Maybe a little bit.
What? No, man. don't regret it, man. I as long as you read all of them, it's fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're still there, and I definitely enjoyed it. And yeah, you remember you came in to buy New 52 Batman by Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder, honestly one of my favorite writers, comic book writers.
Yeah.
I started off with his series American Vampire. For all of those who maybe aren't familiar with his work, that's his first ever published work.
And what do you call it? What was American Vampire about?
Basically, it's a story about vampires, though.
But like, no, obviously it was about vampires. But like, what? It's like high school kids. You know what I mean? Like superpower vampires. Like, what was it about?
It was about a vampire called Skinner Sweet and Pearl, and basically it's how a new breed of vampire is developed.
Okay.
And it takes place in Western, and it takes place throughout different parts of American history.
Okay.
That's why it's called American Vampire.
Okay. So it's like a historic comic bookish.
Yeah, a little bit, exactly.
Okay.
And every story arc takes place in a different era in American history.
Okay.
And it's what Scott Snyder does really good with his comic books is world building, and that's why he's perfect for Batman.
Yeah, I remember exactly. I agree with you 100%. I remember when I read The Court of Owls the first time, because Batman's been out for such a long period of time, and he usually doesn't have new rogue gallery, because his villain, the villains he had were, it's formulated. You have Mr. Freeze, you have Joker, you have Two-Face, you have his traditional villains, but he went and did something new and introduced a new villain. I know a bunch of villains, The Court of Owls, and that was amazing. Like the world building behind how long the Court of Owls always existed. And because they existed like throughout how long Batman's been in fighting crime. The Court of Owls were always there, but he never knew of them. And then the trials and tribulations he had to go through to overcome this obstacle was like very interesting to read.
So if anyone who's maybe not familiar with Scott Snyder, New 52 Batman, pick it up.
Awesome, amazing. He did amazing work, and right now he's working on a new series called Batman Metal, which you should check out, Mervyn, because I know you stopped collecting comic books, but you should go check that out.
Yeah, it was starting to hurt my wallet, so.
Dude, it's like $4.
I used to read comic books, maybe like the small indie stuff.
Indie stuff? Like what? Yeah, are you reading anything right now?
Well, a few I could like to recommend. I'm pretty sure everyone who's a comic book reader already knows this, but Saga, Sunstone, Sex Criminals. That's a good one.
That's a good one. A sex criminal, not sex criminals, right?
No, Sex Criminals.
A sex criminals.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't sex criminals.
So I'll just give you like a short
Yeah.
short idea what the premise is about. Basically,
They have sex and they cause crime.
yeah. Basically, they have sex and they found out they can stop time every time they climax.
What
And the whole plot revolves around that, and like it gets really sci-fi.
Oh damn, man! That sounds
Hey,
honestly
I'm
does
telling
sound
you,
interesting.
if you want to venture between if you want to venture with different types of comic book stories, go indie. You'll
Go
see a lot of different variety out there.
Okay, then that's interesting. Honestly, I'm gonna borrow a comic book from you to read it before I start purchasing it. No, but it sounds interesting. Sumi, like our friend Sumi here, is judging this whole podcast. Like, what are you guys talking about? Haram.
Haram.
But anyways, what do you call it? You told yeah. Before we start recording, we're just talking about you watched the movie It, correct?
Yeah,
And you said that movie was awesome.
movie was great. 8 out of 10.
8 out of
Highly
10.
recommend it.
8 out of 10. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a good rating, man. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect movie.
Okay. So what do you call it? Why was it so amazing compared to other horror movies? Like, was it like super scary or like?
Well, for one, it was actually a good movie. I
It's
mean,
just
it's hard to find a horror movie that's a good all-around movie.
Maybe Stephen King, thanks to Stephen King's writing, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that definitely helped. It's probably one of the best written horror movies, best acted in my opinion. In recent times, so like I didn't have too many problems with the kids' performances, which would usually make or break some movies for me. It's like some kids' acting isn't the best out there, but this one was pretty good. And it was really well paced. Like I remember enjoying the whole right through, and it was scary, it was funny, and it was just like really entertaining.
And so exactly, so it delivered in the aspect of like the whole story. Everything was meshed together well because you're letting me know about how horror movies usually kind of forget the story aspect and it's all about the scary aspect, and then they kind of lose their audience, right? Because it's all about scare.
It all becomes formulaic. It's like all the horror movies usually rely on jump scares or cheap thrills, and people still pay money to see them because that's what they want to see, right? I mean, if you don't get scared, then what's the point of a horror movie? But because of that, a lot of horror movies suffer. They forget about all the other things that make a good movie. But it was actually really well done, so anyone would enjoy it.
And okay, so it was done in a certain way. The story wise was really good, and the story wise was really good as well as the scare. So it blended well perfectly together, correct?
Yeah.
But how you enjoy horror movies, enjoy graphic novels, and right now you're starting to become a masseuse or a massage therapist, right?
Yeah, it's something I'll be doing in February. Again, looking forward to it.
Okay, and what inspired you to become a massage therapist?
It's actually something I wanted to do ever since I was a kid. Like I remember.
Oh, seriously, that was your dream. Okay, because I remember you wanted to become a boxer. No, not no. Your brother wanted to become a boxer.
Yeah.
But you were boxing for a bit.
Yeah, I tried a few things here and there.
Yeah.
But how I guess how I started getting into it was Christmas parties. Adults would be playing cards or having a talk around the dinner table.
Yeah.
And I would take advantage of it. I would sneak up behind one of my aunties and I just gave her a massage because
back rub, yeah.
Yeah, because that's something I just saw people do. I was like, okay, I'll give her a massage. She liked it, and she gave me $2.
$2, like Mervyn knew.
$2 as a kid was a lot. You can do so much with that, and that made my whole week. So, so it became like a little mini tradition for me. Every Christmas party or every family gathering, I would just go up to an adult. Usually when they're gambling, I don't know why. They just
gambling. They're like, here, just
they already
take
have the
money
money out, so it's like, oh, okay, here's a massage, and like, and then
here's
at
$2.
first I wouldn't stick my hand out, and then later on it's like, oh, they're giving you money, so I'll just stick my hand out.
And then was it ever at one point where it was like nobody, you stuck your hand out and they didn't give you money?
No, in fact, they gave you more. It was like, oh, okay, this is a business for you, so they started giving me more money.
So that kind of inspired. So at that time, you knew you wanted to become a massage therapist, but
it was something in the back of my mind. It's not something like I was really serious about. But later on, when I got into high school, that's when it got kind of confusing. I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I was thinking maybe chiropractor because it's like massage therapy, but more money.
more money, and
But that again, I was like, okay, I wasn't really that into it. And at some point, by the end of high school, I still was lost. And then eventually, like most Filipinos, what they do is they go to nursing.
Yeah, and I remember you were studying to become a nurse.
Yeah, and I had the grades for it, so I was like, oh, let me try it out.
And then what happened? Because I
It,
remember you stopped, because I know you stopped doing nursing, but
yeah.
well, I never went in details with you. But why did you just stop randomly?
It wasn't for me.
It wasn't
It's
for you.
it's the type. It's not the type of work that I want to do. It's not something that I can see myself doing. It takes a special kind of person to be a nurse.
And shout out to all those nurses there working in
No,
the
yeah,
hospitals right now.
seriously, shift work, like you're overworked basically, and it's a really hard job.
Yeah, I know. I have a few friends that are currently doing are nurses right now, and shout out to them because I know how hard they work. They work these night shifts,
Yeah,
day shifts. Like, oh my god, like the amount of stress that they're under and how they could deal with it. Props to them. You know what I mean?
yeah. So after nursing, I
You
went to
had yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's okay. I went to social sciences and like I didn't know what I wanted to do there. It's like, oh, I'm into sociology more or less, psychology maybe, but it's not. It was hard for me to think of a
Ooh,
solid career path.
what you wanted to do, and you're kind of stuck in that limbo.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
think,
I could have went to university, but it would have been more me guessing what I wanted to do.
and you didn't want to do that, like, because you wanted to go do something that you actually
Yeah,
had a passion for, and not just mess around and just spend more money.
yeah,
Because university expensive, and especially when you don't know what you're doing, those classes tend to cost a lot of money.
yeah, exactly. And my parents couldn't help me financially in terms of schooling. They don't have the extra cash, so I would have to pay myself through.
Yeah. And now
So
props to you, man. You're a hard worker. I know how hard you work. So shout out to you, man.
thanks.
But what do you call it? So you had the limbo phase and everything, but but now you're back on track to do what you wanted to do as a little kid.
Yeah. So basically, I just took the year off
Yeah.
to just work, focus on me.
Yeah.
Got really fit during that year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I seen the transformation. So what do you call it? Yeah, I seen the transformation, dude. I remember when we first met, you were a skinny Filipino dude, and now you're a jacked Filipino dude.
I wouldn't say jacked, but
Well, you're okay. You're a huge man. But what do you call it? So what was the how did you get into fitness? Like, what was the drive? Like, like the reason you started working out. Like, why did you start? Like, what inspired you? Just randomly, like, oh, I need to get in shape, and you just started working out.
well, it first started in late high school when like a girl I liked said I look skinny, so that sparked something. I'm sure for a lot of guys that's relatable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and so
And then after that, it's like okay, I started going to the gym, did a few things, but really what really kicked it off is when I started boxing. And like boxing is it's a really great workout for your body. Like not only do you condition yourself, you learn a lot of ways to improve your fitness. So that really jump started it. And once I mean I had to like stop boxing, I didn't have the time for it. But after that, I started going to the gym more consistently, which is really what gave me the most improvements. And learning by myself. Like honestly, there's so much YouTube videos out there that can just teach you how to work out properly. That's what a lot of people miss, is they just come in and just wing it. But there's a lot of resources out there that can get you the results a lot faster.
no, I agree with you 100%. Because I have one of my buddies I train with. I was training with him last last Friday, and we were doing chest together. So I do my traditional bench press, but it's not perfect. And then when I was training with him, my friend TJ, and then he's seen my flaws, because it's really great to have somebody that knows what they're doing, and that and they could that been lifting for a long time as well. They help you tweak what you might be doing wrong. Like, yeah, I know how to bench, but he helped me tweak my bench where I was getting the full contraction in my chest. So instead of like putting any more, like using rather than using my secondary muscles like my shoulder and things like that. So he was able to help me focus my full contraction on my chest when we were working out. So yeah, so it's really great. There's so many, like you're always learning when you're training. You never come to a point where no, this is how you train. No, there's always ways to improve, and you just keep going to the gym and just getting better and just keep learning. There's so much information out there on lifting weights, and everyone's body is different.
Exactly. And the best part is once you just start seeing results, and it's like, oh, okay, people are starting to notice. Oh, I started to notice. And then you just keep going and going. It's just a constant
And
state of
consistency.
improvement. Yeah, exactly.
but it wasn't only your training that helped you reach your goal, right? It's also if you're dieting as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I remember you eating your kale chips, or was it
Seaweed.
seaweed chips? I remember.
Roasted seaweed.
I remember you're really dedicated,
Yeah.
man. You stopped. You what do you call it? You gave up potato chips and eating seaweed chips.
It's you just start cutting stuff like here and there. Like I stopped drinking soda,
Yeah,
which was really hard. Soda's super addictive.
yeah, really, really addictive. Trust
Yeah.
me, I feel you.
Soda, ice caps, anything sugary. But a lot of people are like listening to this like, no, that's impossible. I'm not doing that.
but you did. You gave it up. So do you remember the last time you had an ice cap?
A week ago.
Fail, man, fail. We're trying to inspire people. Mervyn having ice cap, but whatever.
Hey, I can treat myself. I mean, if I go to the gym 4 times a week, I can have one ice cap.
One ice cap.
One ice cap for the week.
I bet at least you have control. It doesn't become 2. It doesn't
Yeah.
become 3, right? It's just that one.
Yeah, I remember like when I was in high school, I had $20 for the week for food,
Okay.
and at least $5 would go to soda.
Oh yeah. High five here, man,
Yeah.
because that was me too.
Here, let me do an audio of that.
Nice. But what do you call it? Yeah, man. I was the same way. I remember high school. I would have to be drinking soda every single day. Water? What the hell was water? Like,
What the fuck is water? Who
Yeah.
drinks water?
yeah, exactly. No, but now I drink water religiously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Back then, as the high school, during high school, I noticed, with my acne and all that, soda and drinking
Yeah.
candy. I mean, sorry, eating candy, drinking pop. Eating chips, like all that, affected my acne as well as
Yeah.
just my health. But I'm like, oh man, it's so it tastes so good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then slowly, when same thing, when I started the gym, I started giving it up. I gave up pop for a whole year, like when I first started the gym. But then after that, I still drink, and now I drink it more than back then.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not. I mean, when I started working out, I drink it more frequently, but not as much. You know what I mean? Like not high school days. High school days was bad. Every day I need a can of soda. But now it's just like if I just go out eat with friends, I like maybe like today we went for poutine, and I had a poutine with a hamburger inside of it. You didn't want to drink water with that, so I would. That's why I took a Pepsi instead. But no, exactly. I try avoiding pop as much as possible, but I have it here or there. I don't. As long as I don't have the same addiction to it. But what do you call it? So you're still training right now. Also, you do take dance classes, don't you?
Yeah. Sunday, I'm part of a Filipino folkloric dance group called Pamana. Look us up. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Pamana Filipino folkloric dance group.
Yo, spell that out, Mervyn.
Pamana.
Yeah.
Pamana.
Pamana. But what do you call it? What got you into folk dancing? Filipino folk dancing.
Honestly, it's nothing exciting. It's my friends were already doing it. My friends were doing it, and like, half my friends were already doing it. So, and I have some free time now that I'm not in school, so I did it, and I loved it. We recently traveled to North Cyprus to perform at an international festival, and we plan on doing more. Maybe we're going to Philippines, hopefully in the next 2 years.
Next 2 years, nice.
Yeah.
But what do you call it when you went to Cyprus? How long did you go there for?
It was a week.
A week.
Yeah, a week.
What was it? What did you guys have to pay for individually, or was paid for?
Our stay was free. The only thing we paid for were the tickets to get there.
Okay.
And yeah, it was great. We got to meet other international dance groups. We got to mingle. We got to talk. It was a really great experience.
And then what do you call it? So while you're there, like, were you performing every night, or how did it work?
Yeah, every other night.
Every other night.
Yeah.
But then what? Then after what? Partying or what?
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. They set up like it was a beach club
was a
basically.
beach club?
So every night after a performance, they would put on the lights, put on the music, and we would dance all night.
And just get wasted and
Yeah.
party all night on the beach.
Not for everyone, but yeah.
Most people. But what do you call it? So, what is the traditional Filipino folk dancing? Like, do I have to YouTube that, or if you could explain, like how the dance works?
Oh well, there's different kinds. There's rural, there's tribal, there's Spanish. All the dances usually represent a specific era in Filipino culture, either before we were colonized, after we were colonized by the Spaniards, or just traditional rural dances. Just to for celebrations and things like that.
Okay.
And yeah, we normally perform at weddings, international festivals, and it's just a way to demonstrate a lot of our culture.
Culture. And so but so your group focuses more on rural dancing. I can't even pronounce it.
Yeah, rural, Spanish, and
Oh, so you do
tribal. Yeah,
okay,
so there's like different branches that we explore.
explore. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and there's even a Muslim suite too. But
What?
yeah, shout out to the Muslims.
But what do you call it? Wait. So there's Muslim folk dancing, Filipino folk dancing. Wait,
Yeah, because
how does that work, man? I'm trying to figure that out. I never heard of it before. That's why I'm curious.
it's
Is it kind of similar to like what you?
it's gonna be hard for me to describe, but you if you were interested in maybe watching it, you can watch this on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I might do this after the podcast.
It's really cool stuff, guys. Trust me.
Okay. But what do you yeah, assume we just asked. Do they wear hijabs or when they're dancing?
Yeah. It's our artistic interpretation of hijabs. With shiny scars, and you'll see. It's not
the bling bling.
It's artistic. It's different. So keep that in mind when you watch this.
But anyway, so back to you doing what you love, right? Because now in February you're gonna start doing your massage school. How long does it take for that program? Like
it's a 1 year. It'll take probably a year for me to get the basic certification,
okay.
and I can keep adding on if I want to. So it's the first year's kinetic Swedish massage.
Yeah.
And if I want to maybe branch out to other things like sports massage or kinetic Swedish massage, or I still don't know exactly where I'll be. I'm gonna stick to the basics first and see where that takes me. And it might even also might consider doing a CPA too, certified personal trainer.
Oh, so yeah, we were talking about that before because we were supposed to do it this summer, but I never followed up with it because I just got busy with work and everything. But yeah no, that's cool, man. You should really do it because you're really into the fitness scene, and I think it would go hand in hand because you'd be studying massage therapy, then also you would be able to be a personal trainer. So you could give them
I
the
think
full
that would
package.
be a good mix.
Yeah, man, you should start your own business, man. Mervyn Athletics. Yeah, I copyrighted that. So if you use it, Mervyn, I want
Mervyn Athletics.
Athletics. But what do you call it? So right now you have to wait till February before you could start your massage classes, right?
Yeah.
So right now you're just working at the moment, or
Yeah.
I know you did the X-Men race, right? Like it's similar to the Spartan race. You did it over the summer.
Yeah, I did the X-Men race this summer. I did it twice actually.
This summer?
Yeah, did it twice. I did it with a group of friends, and then I did it with my girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's fun. It's a I don't know how long the distance is.
You don't know like how
I think
long
it's
did
like
it take
5K.
you?
5K up a mountain, and there's at least a dozen different obstacle courses in between.
Okay. Like what and during these obstacle courses, like what were you doing? Like was it using your body weight or going through things? Like what were you doing?
Yeah, it's like oh, do you have to climb a rope or go under barbed wire or
barbed wire?
Yeah, I was surprised by that too.
What the hell? Like
like crawling in the mud, going through tubes. It's fun. It's a lot of obstacle courses, and the first type of race people think of is the Spartan race.
Yeah.
And the reason why me and my friends go to the X-Men race is because there's more obstacles, a little bit less running, so it's a little bit more friendlier to for everyone. So you don't have to be like super fit to do it, but you can challenge yourself every year. You can actually
try to beat your time.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to speed your way through it. And it's a really good challenge. It's a good thing to challenge yourself.
And you still get medals as well, right?
Yeah, everyone gets a medal.
Even if you don't finish the race?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, oh, you did it, good job. But you don't actually have to do all the obstacles. You're just there to do what you want to do.
I'm sorry about that noise. Whoever's listening, my viewers. My little cousin came over and they don't know what to be quiet means. So anyways, now the babies went back upstairs. Hopefully we don't have them screaming in the background again. But yeah, man, dude, the X-Men race. So does it cost any money to do the race?
Yeah.
Like
it's like well, you got a Groupon for it, so we got a good price. So
Mm.
for the race, it was pretty much $50 for us.
$50? Like,
Yeah.
okay, as a group.
It was a Groupon deal.
Okay, so it wasn't like
So-
in each person cost $50.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're lucky enough, you might be able to get the deal on Groupon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you, we gotta like way in advance, like a few months before.
And was there any like proper training behind you doing this race, or it's just like any average Joe could do it, or you have to have some sort of conditioning involved doing this?
No, it definitely helps if you train for the race, or if you condition yourself to do the obstacles. I mean,
Yeah, so you would have to condition yourself properly to do the race, right? So
Yeah.
it make it easier. If not, you don't want to be having a heart attack
Yeah.
midway of the race, right?
yeah,
Like,
basically
does
that's
it push you to that intensity?
No, it's like I remember doing the race. This is the second time doing the race. I was like, okay, I did when I did it first time. There's a few obstacles that I couldn't do. So when it came time to do the race the second time, I was like, okay, I want to work on the things that I wasn't able to do, like
So
a
what-
certain obstacle, like,
Like
let's say
what?
climbing a rope, or I mean, I was able to do that, but like,
But you struggle a bit more.
yeah, exactly. So you just want to be able to, be able to do all the obstacles and, basically feel like a beast when you do it. That's what it is, really. And it's really is for everyone. There's girls, kids, and even older people that can do the race. You don't have to do all the obstacles, but it's just a way to, push yourself and do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Oh, that's sick, man.
And you feel great after too.
You feel like an X-Men after, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're like Beast or Wolverine.
Right after race, and the day after, you feel like total crap.
But what do you call it? What it is like really bad the day after? It's just like, oh my god, my body's just like dying.
Yeah, basically my legs, my butt was hurting the whole. Because you're climbing up the hill, so it's like I couldn't even sit down and.
Or lunges, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what do you call it? So do you have any plans on doing any other races this upcoming summer? Like, I know it's far from now. 'Cause
Yeah.
like earlier today, I was talking about the Spartan race, but are you familiar with the Spartan race? Like,
I
like
heard it's probably something I want to do just to say I did it. Even though I'm sure I would have enjoyed doing the X-Men race more,
okay.
but I think I'd be ready for the Spartan race.
No. But yeah, I remember when I first heard the Spartan race, I heard the conditioning you have to go through. I'm like, god damn, man, that sounds really, really intense. And but it is something that I do consider doing as well. Like,
Yeah.
I know I say I want to do a lot of different things, but I didn't do them yet.
Mhm.
But that's something I have in my mind that I want to try it. Like, we'll see when time allows me to do it. But
Yeah.
but I right now my first goal is just to really get physically in shape, like to the goal that I always wanted, the body that I always wanted. I still didn't reach that goal yet,
Mhm.
but now school's done, and that's not an excuse no more. So I have more time available now. Like you were talking about earlier, it's all about consistency. So right now, I know I have to get my meals in track. Like, eat properly, eating quinoa and chicken. Oh man, freaking quinoa. But
Quinoa.
like today was too funny, man, because I had a hamburger poutine, man. Like, that's it. No way.
Yeah, and I saw you eat it. I was like, oh my god.
I'm eating it. Like, yeah, I know.
I wasn't
man.
judging you, but
You were judging me, and Mohammed trying to get a 6-pack. Yeah, man, my ass. No, but what do you call it? I need to get my meal prepping back in place. I have to be more consistent with that. I just need it's just scheduling everything properly. Once you have a system in place, you just have to go and be consistent and not let anything hinder your goals and your and it also matters on how badly you want it, right? So hopefully I want it badly enough and I can make the change and get that body that I've been envisioning for when I first started the gym and get it.
yeah. I mean, honestly, once you start seeing the results and you start seeing that the first 2-3 packs showing in your abdomen, it's like, oh, yeah.
But they're not fair, man. You're Asian, Mervyn. What do you call it? You got them Asian genes. Get that abs super fast. I got the brown genes, man. Get a big belly and losing my hair. But what do you call it? So aside the Spartan race and you becoming a massage therapist, is there anything that you have any plans doing, traveling or anything like that?
Yeah, hopefully get a chance to travel more. I only traveled, honestly, 2 different countries. That's it.
Like where? Like Cyprus?
North Cyprus, Greece.
Agree.
Been to the States, if that counts. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, going to the States does count, Mervyn. But anywhere else you like, so you've been to those two places. So where would be a dream destination for you to go?
Philippines, definitely.
Philippines. And
Yeah.
hopefully in 2 years you could do it with your dance group.
Yeah, that would be ideal. Like if I was gonna go to the Philippines, I would do it with a Filipino folkloric dance group, my friends, and
Not
people who yeah, exactly. Well, my family too would have been nice, but like, just going there with. And if we do get a chance to go to the Philippines, actually, there's a small chance we actually might go to see an actual village of like a native village in the Philippines,
Yeah.
and spending time with them and like learn more about their culture. So that would be really interesting.
Okay. No, yeah, that'd be cool. And especially, have you never been to Philippines, have you?
No,
No, so that would be an awesome experience.
yeah,
It'd be your
it's
first time.
definitely it's one of my priorities in terms of traveling.
So hopefully in 2 years, that could happen.
Yeah.
You go, and then hopefully a lot of videos of you dancing
Yeah,
and with your group. And but you said we could find you on your fan page, so that'd be
Yeah.
a cool way to keep in touch.
I mean, I'm still new. You're not gonna see me there, but you'll see a lot of other cool videos of our dance group kicking ass on stage. So look it up, Pamana.
Shout out to Pamana Dance Group. But in terms of fitness goals, so you have any goals this year that you wanna reach?
Yes. Well, and one thing I want to work on is just get leaner. That's always one of my goals. But one other thing is to jump higher.
Jump higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
Like,
that core strength.
Yeah, I need to work on my legs and do some plyometrics to work on my explosiveness, and just work on athletic type of exercises. I've been working on rebuilding muscle, but I want to make it more functional.
Yeah, like to do, like I know, like I remember, like would you consider like doing like lunges? That usually people just do lunges, standing lunges,
Yeah.
but walking lunges. Would that be something considered as more athletic movements or?
Yeah, exactly. Anything that would include an athletic type of movement into it, like, and especially if you add a bit of explosiveness to it,
Yeah.
definitely helps, especially with jumping. And the reason why I want to jump higher is because I play volleyball,
Oh yeah.
and I also play basketball.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to be one of those very few 5'11" Asians that can actually dunk.
Maybe the special ones.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? It's true. Yeah, I forgot to ask. What do you call that? How's your volleyball going right now?
Oh, it's been great. I've only been playing for a year, but I'm learning a lot. And it's
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos on Instagram, dude. Man, you're spiking that ball like no tomorrow, man.
and that's why I want to jump higher. Yeah.
Also, yeah, to have those blocks and to spike the ball, and just to have those crazy highlight reels, right?
Exactly.
But what do you call it? So you're gonna work on those explosive movements and things like that. But do you have anybody helping you with it, or are you just watching it on YouTube to get ideas how to do it?
Honestly, I'm just watching videos on YouTube. I pick and choose different exercises that worked for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, when it comes to developing skills or working on your personal fitness, honestly, it's one of the best things you can do. It's just like do your research, take your time to do it, and make sure you're doing it properly and safely.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you just want to rush,
Yeah.
and just make those gains, and then it leads to injuries.
Yeah.
And you want to avoid those things.
And work for a goal. Like honestly, when I worked out, it's like, okay, I want to look this way, or I want to be able to do this, or jump a certain height. But when you have a goal, it's just gonna make it so much easier to get your gains when you're working out in the gym.
Yeah, because it gives you a purpose and you know what
Yeah.
you're going after. Because if you don't put a goal, you don't know what you're running after. You're just running in the dark, right? And then you don't know what you're trying to see at the end of the tunnel, right? So you just keep running, right?
Exactly.
At least if you put a goal, you know what you're chasing after, and so hopefully by the end of it, it is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah. So hopefully you guys will see me on YouTube soon.
Oh, you're gonna make a YouTube video soon?
A YouTube dunk reel.
YouTube dunk reel. Filipino man dunking from Montreal. Anyways, Mervyn, I'd like to thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
No problem, man.
They really appreciate it. So, is there any? Would you like people following you on your Instagram or anything, or you want to shout anything out right now before we end it?
Like our dance group on Facebook and Instagram, Pamana Folkloric Filipino Dance Group. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Mervyn Enriquez. Nothing exciting there except a few shirtless photos and me hitting some volleyballs in the air. But
And how do you spell your name, Mervyn, for people that don't know how to spell it? Because me,
right.
I used to spell your name wrong,
people
man.
mess it up all the time.
Yeah, I used to, me, for example, I spelled it Mervin, Mervyn. Yeah, but it was wrong.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be spelled. My parents wanted to be creative with it, so it's Mervyn.
And then Enriquez,
Enriquez.
like Enrique Iglesias, right?
Yeah. Y'all probably think I'm a Spanish-looking motherfucker, but I'm actually Asian.
Yeah, Filipino. So I'd like to thank you once again, Mervyn, for coming on. Really appreciate it, man. And hopefully have you on again soon.
Yeah, I'd be glad to be back.
Thank you, man. Peace out. Most Box, episode 7 ended.